Hey there, fellow literature explorers. Today, we turn our gaze toward Iron Man 2, a 2010 action-packed superhero film that offers much more than spectacle. It's a text rich with thematic complexity, character struggle, and symbolic resonance, inviting us to dive deeper beneath the flashing armor and explosive battles. I'm so glad you've joined me because in this video, we'll explore its cinematic language, narrative arcs, and the underlying philosophical questions that make it a compelling study, especially for those of us who cherish thoughtful, intellectual examinations of film. Before we dive in, I want to gently remind you this isn't a traditional movie review. Instead, this is a critical and theoretical analysis aimed at those with a literature background or anyone interested in unpacking the layers beneath the surface. We're here to look not just at what happens on screen, but at what it means, how it connects with culture, myth, and even personal experience. If that sounds like your kind of journey, please like and subscribe. It helps us keep creating content that treats cinema as an art form worth deep exploration. Now let me share why this film resonates so deeply with me. At first glance, it's a high-octane superhero sequel, part of a sprawling cinematic universe packed with CGI and frenetic action. But beneath the metal and fire, it explores very human themes: legacy, vulnerability, identity, and the cost of power. Watching the protagonist wrestle with his mortality, his public image, and his inner demons felt to me like a metaphor for our own struggles with purpose and authenticity. The way the film grapples with these ideas amid the chaos of superhero antics is what makes it linger long after the credits roll. The story picks up with the titular hero, grappling with the repercussions of revealing his secret identity to the world, a bold move that thrusts him into an uncomfortable spotlight, demanding he balance the expectations of a public hero with his own deeply personal battles. His physical health falters, and his brilliance is shadowed by increasing pressure from government forces eager to control his technology. This tension between individual freedom and institutional oversight is threaded throughout the narrative, raising questions about autonomy and responsibility that echo larger cultural debates. As the plot unfolds, a new antagonist emerges, one whose motivations intertwine with revenge and technological ambition, challenging the hero not just physically but intellectually and morally. Alongside him, we meet fresh allies, each bringing new dynamics and complications to the story. Their relationships enrich the narrative tapestry, adding layers of loyalty, rivalry, and collaboration. The unfolding conflict is as much about ideological clashes as it is about explosive showdowns, with technology serving as both a symbol of human ingenuity and the potential for destruction. The film's exploration of legacy is palpable, especially through its treatment of mentorship and inheritance. The hero's struggle is mirrored by those seeking to claim his mantle or challenge his dominance. This push and pull between past, present, and future echoes the timeless theme of what we leave behind and how we define ourselves beyond our achievements. The visual and narrative motifs emphasize this. Armors, blueprints, and echoes of previous battles all weave together to create a dialogue about identity continuity. What makes this story especially compelling is how it refuses to present its hero as infallible. Instead, we see vulnerability etched into his every move, the physical toll of his powers, the emotional isolation of leadership, and the burden of expectation. This nuanced portrayal invites empathy and reflection, challenging traditional superhero tropes and offering a more humanized perspective on heroism. And then, there are the moments of triumph and revelation, plot twists that shift allegiances, unmask hidden agendas, and test characters' convictions. These surprises aren't merely for shock value. They are woven into the thematic fabric, highlighting the unpredictability of trust and the complexity of moral choices. Each turn challenges both the protagonist and us, the audience, to reconsider assumptions and look deeper. So as we prepare to journey through the intricate layers of this film, from its narrative arcs to its symbolic richness, I invite you to lean in, to embrace the questions as much as the answers, and to find your own connections within this high-tech, high-stakes world. Whether it's the hero's personal battles or the larger cultural implications, there's a wealth here for us to explore together. Get comfortable, sharpen your critical lens, and let's embark on an intellectually rewarding exploration of this cinematic work that's as much about the human condition as it is about armored suits and epic battles. The film begins with the echoes of victory still ringing in the air, as the world has embraced a new kind of hero, one whose technological marvel and charismatic bravado have redefined what it means to protect and inspire. Our protagonist, basking in the glow of global acclaim, faces a world that has shifted beneath his feet. Yet beneath the armor's gleam lies a growing unease, a physical fragility, and a mounting pressure that threaten to unravel the man behind the suit. From the outset, we witness the consequences of his bold revelation. No longer a masked enigma, he is now a public figure under constant scrutiny. The opening sequences capture the paradox of fame, the adoration of millions contrasted with the invasive gaze of media and government officials. This duality sets the stage for the internal conflict that will ripple through every scene. The character's struggle to maintain control over his life, his technology, and his image is both deeply personal and a reflection of broader themes about privacy, autonomy, and the cost of heroism in a hyper-connected age. A significant early development revolves around the protagonist's deteriorating health. The very technology that sustains his abilities, the arc reactor embedded within him, is simultaneously poisoning him. This physical vulnerability humanizes the character, grounding the spectacle in palpable stakes. The film does not shy away from portraying the toll of his double life, as scenes reveal moments of pain, exhaustion, and desperation. These glimpses beneath the surface add emotional weight to what could otherwise be a straightforward action narrative. As the story unfolds, new challenges emerge from multiple fronts. Government agents, led by a determined figure intent on securing the hero's technology for national defense, begin applying increasing pressure. Their presence embodies institutional authority and the tension between individual freedom and collective security. Negotiations and confrontations between the protagonist and these officials highlight the complexities of power and control, as well as the hero's fierce desire to retain ownership of his creation. Meanwhile, the arrival of a formidable new adversary adds urgency and depth to the conflict. This antagonist, fueled by a personal vendetta and a genius for weaponizing technology, serves as a dark mirror to the protagonist. Their parallel paths, both brilliant, driven by innovation, and burdened by legacy, create a charged dynamic that transcends simple villainy. The film invests in exploring this rivalry through confrontations that are as much about ideology and identity as they are about physical combat. Alongside these tensions, the narrative introduces fresh alliances that shift the story's emotional landscape. A skilled and assertive government agent enters the scene, her pragmatic approach contrasting with the protagonist's impulsiveness. Their evolving partnership, fraught with tension and mutual respect, adds layers to the narrative and explores themes of trust, collaboration, and differing visions of duty. This relationship brings out facets of the protagonist's personality, his vulnerabilities, his pride, and his capacity for connection. The introduction of a new technological marvel, the enhanced armor suit, serves as both a plot device and a symbol. This upgraded suit represents the relentless pursuit of power and control, but also the hero's acknowledgement of his limitations and need for evolution. Scenes depicting its development and deployment are rich with symbolic meaning, reflecting the film's engagement with themes of progress, legacy, and the sometimes uneasy relationship between humanity and technology. Throughout the first portion of the film, tension simmers beneath the action. The narrative deftly balances high-stakes confrontations with quieter moments of introspection and interpersonal drama. Family dynamics enter the story through the return of a complex figure from the protagonist's past, his estranged father's legacy, casting long shadows over current events. The film explores how history, expectations, and unresolved wounds shape identity and motivation, weaving these personal elements into the broader tapestry of conflict and ambition. Key scenes showcase the protagonist's internal and external struggles. A dramatic sequence involving a malfunction during a public demonstration highlights the fragility of his control and foreshadows future challenges. Interspersed with these moments are flashes of humor and levity, often grounded in character interactions, that humanize the story and provide respite from tension. This tonal balance is a hallmark of the film, allowing it to navigate complex emotional terrain without sacrificing entertainment. The narrative structure in this part is deliberate, layering mysteries and revelations that build intrigue. The antagonist's backstory unfolds gradually, providing insight into his motivations and deepening the stakes. Plot twists such as betrayals and unexpected alliances are woven with care, enhancing narrative complexity while maintaining clarity. These developments challenge viewers to engage actively, piecing together clues alongside the characters. Visually, the film embraces dynamic action sequences that serve the story rather than overshadow it. Battles and chases are choreographed with precision, integrating practical effects and CGI to create immersive, kinetic experiences. Yet these set pieces always return us to the characters' emotional journeys, ensuring that spectacle supports narrative depth. The interplay between technology's dazzling possibilities and its human costs is underscored through visual motifs, glowing reactors, sparks flying from damaged suits, and the interplay of light and shadow. Music and sound design work in concert to reinforce mood and theme. The score blends soaring orchestral themes with electronic undertones, capturing the fusion of humanity and machinery at the film's heart. Sound effects punctuate key moments, from the hum of the armor's power to the explosive crescendo of combat. These auditory elements enrich the storytelling, making the viewing experience immersive and emotionally resonant. By the midpoint, the stakes are firmly established. The protagonist faces mounting threats, physical, emotional, and political, that force him to confront his limits and reevaluate his path. The groundwork is laid for an escalation that promises not only spectacular action, but profound questions about legacy, responsibility, and the price of heroism. The film's deft weaving of personal drama and larger societal issues invites viewers to engage both intellectually and emotionally, setting the stage for a riveting continuation. In essence, this segment of the story is a masterclass in balancing character-driven narrative with blockbuster thrills. It invites us to see beyond the armor's gleam to the flawed, determined individual within, while immersing us in a world where innovation and ambition collide with consequence and sacrifice. It's a compelling journey of discovery, both for the hero and for us as viewers, rich with complexity, heart, and a touch of poetic irony. The narrative's momentum intensifies as we move deeper into the labyrinth of conflict and revelation, where the protagonist's personal and public worlds collide in a maelstrom of consequence and choice. The second segment of the story unfolds with a richness of detail and emotional texture that elevates the film from mere spectacle to a layered exploration of identity, legacy, and sacrifice. As tensions escalate, the protagonist finds himself increasingly isolated, his alliances tested, his vulnerabilities exposed. The relentless pressure from governmental forces seeking to commandeer his technology shifts from subtle persuasion to overt coercion, pushing him toward a confrontation not only with external adversaries, but with the very institutions meant to protect society. This mounting tension is punctuated by moments of introspection and quiet desperation, where the hero wrestles with the fragility of his own mortality and the burden of public expectation. Simultaneously, the antagonist's machinations reach a fever pitch. The personal vendetta that fuels his actions intertwines with a broader ideological clash, a contest between divergent visions of technological progress and power. Their rivalry moves beyond physical confrontation into realms of psychological and philosophical warfare. Key scenes reveal the antagonist's motivations in greater depth, humanizing his villainy and complicating the moral landscape. The film uses these revelations to challenge binary notions of good and evil, inviting viewers to grapple with the nuances of ambition and consequence. The stakes are further heightened by the arrival of unexpected allies and betrayals. The relationship between the protagonist and the government agent deepens, evolving from mutual suspicion to a complex partnership underscored by trust and conflicting loyalties. This dynamic enriches the narrative, exploring themes of collaboration, compromise, and the possibility of redemption. Simultaneously, revelations of espionage and sabotage within the protagonist's inner circle inject suspense and uncertainty, compelling him to question whom he can truly rely upon. A pivotal moment arrives when the hero must confront the physical toll of his condition in the crucible of battle. The arc reactor sustaining his life and powers deteriorates to a critical point, forcing him to make agonizing decisions about survival and sacrifice. This vulnerability infuses the action with profound emotional weight, transforming combat sequences into metaphors for resilience and determination. The visual and auditory elements intensify here, the flickering glow of the reactor, the labored breathing amidst explosions, immersing viewers in the visceral reality of the hero's plight. The climax unfolds in a breathtaking sequence where personal stakes and global consequences intersect. The antagonist's ultimate scheme threatens not only the protagonist's life, but the fabric of societal order itself. The ensuing confrontation is a masterful blend of strategy, technology, and raw human will, showcasing the protagonist's ingenuity and growth. Battle choreography and visual effects coalesce into a symphony of motion and tension, yet never lose sight of the characters' emotional journeys. Within this crescendo, key plot twists reverberate with narrative significance. Hidden motives are exposed, alliances shift dramatically, and sacrifices underscore the profound costs of heroism. These revelations challenge audience expectations and deepen the story's thematic complexity. The film does not shy away from ambiguity, allowing moments of moral uncertainty and emotional nuance to linger. Resolution arrives not with unambiguous triumph, but with a tempered sense of hope and continuity. The protagonist's victory is bittersweet, achieved at great personal cost, yet opening pathways toward healing and legacy. The film's closing scenes evoke reflection on identity's fluidity and the enduring impact of choices. Symbols introduced earlier, the glowing arc reactor, the iconic armor, take on renewed significance as emblems of transformation and resilience. Supporting characters find their arcs woven toward meaningful conclusions. The government agent's evolution reflects themes of trust and reconciliation, while the antagonist's fate serves as a poignant commentary on ambition and consequence. The film's ensemble is united in a moment that speaks to the possibility of collective redemption amidst chaos. Visually and orally, the film crescendos with artistry. Lighting shifts from stark contrasts to softer hues, underscoring emotional catharsis. The musical score rises and falls with narrative beats, blending motifs that evoke both tension and resolution. Editing choices emphasize the interplay between action and introspection, granting viewers space to absorb the story's full emotional scope. Ultimately, this portion of the film is a testament to the power of storytelling to navigate complexity, balancing thrills with thought, humor with gravity, and spectacle with heart. It invites audiences to contemplate what it means to be a hero, not in spite of flaws and frailties, but because of the courage to confront them. The narrative's layers, rich with symbolism and character, linger in the mind, prompting reflection long after the screen fades to black. In sum, this chapter in the film's journey completes a richly woven arc, blending the kinetic energy of blockbuster cinema with the intimate nuances of personal struggle. It challenges and rewards viewers, inviting us to embrace both the dazzling armor and the vulnerable humanity beneath, crafting an experience that is as intellectually stimulating as it is emotionally resonant. The making of this film was itself a rich narrative, one woven from the lively energy, creative improvisations, and unexpected moments that unfolded behind the camera, far from the scripted battles and dramatic turns that play out on screen. From the very beginning, the production became a microcosm of the film's own themes: collaboration amid chaos, the interplay of control and unpredictability, and the blending of human vulnerability with mechanical precision. Diving into these behind-the-scenes stories not only reveals the dedication and passion of everyone involved, but also shines a light on the very human processes that shaped this high-octane cinematic experience. The atmosphere on set was electric, charged with a palpable sense of excitement, but also an underlying tension, a reflection of the film's demanding schedule and the ambition of the creative team. The director fostered an environment that balanced rigorous planning with a willingness to embrace spontaneous creativity. Many cast members have spoken fondly of this dynamic, recalling how the director encouraged improvisation during rehearsals and even on set, allowing actors to explore their characters in unexpected ways. This openness led to some of the film's most memorable moments, where a simple off-script line or a subtle physical gesture injected fresh life into scenes, catching even the crew by surprise and eliciting genuine laughter or awe. One of the standout stories involves the lead actor, whose physical commitment to the role pushed the boundaries of performance. Known for his meticulous preparation, he underwent extensive training not only to master the technical aspects of wearing and maneuvering in the armor, but also to convey the character's emotional depth beneath the suit. During one particularly challenging stunt sequence, he insisted on performing a complex action himself, despite the risks involved. The stunt coordinators and safety team had to devise innovative harnesses and rigging systems to support him, balancing authenticity with protection. This dedication translated into a visceral presence on screen, making the character's struggles feel immediate and real. The relationship among the cast fostered a sense of camaraderie that permeated the production. The chemistry between the protagonist and his government agent counterpart was not only scripted, but also nurtured through shared experiences off-camera. The actors often spent downtime together discussing character motivations, rehearsing scenes in informal settings, and engaging in playful banter that strengthened their on-screen rapport. This bond is palpable in their performances, adding layers of nuance and emotional resonance that elevate the story beyond its action set pieces. Supporting cast members contributed their own stories of connection and creativity. The actor portraying the antagonist described a particularly collaborative process with the director, where they explored the villain's motivations in depth, finding humanity amid the menace. This exploration allowed for a portrayal that was complex and compelling rather than one-dimensional, enriching the film's moral landscape. Similarly, actors in minor but pivotal roles shared anecdotes about how small improvisations or last-minute script changes enhanced their characters, demonstrating the fluidity and collective artistry of filmmaking. The production crew's stories reveal the immense technical and logistical feats behind the spectacle. Filming involved a blend of practical effects and cutting-edge CGI, requiring close coordination between departments. The special effects team recounts the challenges of designing and executing sequences where the armor's movement had to look both believable and visually stunning. They developed custom rigs and animatronics to simulate the suit's articulation, often working hand-in-hand with the cinematography team to capture dynamic angles that showcase the technology's intricacy. One memorable technical challenge arose during a complex sequence involving an armored battle atop a moving vehicle. Coordinating the actors' stunts, vehicle movements, camera placements, and safety protocols demanded meticulous planning and real-time problem-solving. Unexpected weather conditions, sudden gusts of wind, threatened to delay filming, but the team adapted quickly, adjusting shot schedules and leveraging creative lighting to maintain continuity. This resilience and flexibility highlight the behind-the-scenes dedication that often goes unseen but is vital to the film's success. Costume and makeup departments share tales of transformation and innovation. The design of the armor itself was a monumental task, requiring hundreds of hours of sculpting, molding, and fitting. Multiple versions of the suit were crafted to accommodate different scenes, lightweight models for dialogue-heavy moments, and reinforced, functional pieces for stunts. Actors had to endure long hours in these suits, navigating discomfort and limited mobility. The makeup team worked to ensure that subtle facial expressions could still be captured despite the physical constraints, using innovative techniques to maintain realism and emotional expression. The sound department's contributions offer a fascinating glimpse into the auditory world that complements the visuals. Field recordings, Foley artistry, and digital effects were combined to create the distinctive hums, blasts, and mechanical sounds associated with the armor and weaponry. One particularly creative approach involved recording unconventional sources, metal scraping, pneumatic hisses, even household objects, to craft unique sound signatures. These layered sounds enriched the sensory experience, making each action sequence a symphony of texture and tone. Editing was a marathon of creativity and precision. The post-production team worked closely with the director to fine-tune the pacing, ensuring that rapid-fire action sequences retained clarity while allowing moments of character reflection to breathe. Early rough cuts sparked lively debates about rhythm and tone, leading to inventive solutions such as inserting reaction shots or adjusting music cues to sharpen comedic or dramatic effects. This collaborative process underscores the fluid nature of filmmaking, where the final product is shaped by many voices and visions. Music composition added yet another dimension to the production story. The composer embraced the challenge of blending orchestral grandeur with modern electronic elements, reflecting the film's fusion of tradition and innovation. Recording sessions were dynamic, with musicians responding to director feedback and experimenting with sounds that could evoke both adrenaline and introspection. The resulting score acts as an emotional guide through the narrative's highs and lows, enhancing the storytelling without overpowering it. Marketing efforts embraced the film's spirit of engagement and innovation. Cast and crew participated in fan conventions, interactive online campaigns, and behind-the-scenes content releases that connected audiences directly with the filmmaking process. These initiatives fostered a community of enthusiasts eager to explore the film's layers and celebrate its artistry, amplifying its cultural impact. Despite the many successes, the production was not without its hardships. Scheduling conflicts, technical setbacks, and the physical demands on actors created moments of strain. Yet, the team's shared commitment and problem-solving ethos ensured that challenges became opportunities for growth and creativity. Anecdotes about late-night shoots, on-set camaraderie, and the collective relief following particularly grueling days paint a picture of resilience and mutual support. In reflecting on these behind-the-scenes insights, it becomes clear that the film's magic owes as much to the people behind the scenes as to the stars in front of the camera. Their stories reveal a process marked by dedication, creativity, and a joyful embrace of the unpredictable. This human element, so essential yet often invisible, is what breathes life into the cinematic spectacle, transforming it from celluloid illusion into an experience that resonates deeply with audiences. Ultimately, the making of this film is a story of passion and perseverance, of artistry nurtured through collaboration, and of a shared vision realized through countless small acts of ingenuity and care. It reminds us that every frame carries the imprint of human endeavor, the laughter, the challenges, and the triumphs that make cinema not just a medium of entertainment, but a vibrant celebration of creativity itself. The film unfolds as a tapestry woven with threads of complexity, inviting us to journey beyond the surface spectacle into a realm where themes pulse with vitality and symbolism resonates with deeper meaning. This is not merely a story about a man in a suit of armor. It is a meditation on identity, power, vulnerability, and legacy, explored through characters whose struggles mirror timeless human dilemmas. Each scene, each visual motif, becomes a portal into these layered ideas, inviting us to consider how technology and humanity entwine, how public personas mask private battles, and how the past shapes the present in both haunting and hopeful ways. One of the film's central themes is the duality of identity, the tension between the self we present to the world and the self we wrestle with in solitude. Our protagonist embodies this duality vividly. By day, he is a celebrated figure, a symbol of technological triumph and heroic idealism. Beneath the armor, he is deeply flawed, grappling with the physical toll of his invention and the emotional isolation it brings. This dual existence is symbolized through the armor itself, both a shield and a cage. The suit grants immense power and public acclaim, yet it confines and alienates, a barrier between man and world. Moments when the armor is removed are poignant reminders of vulnerability and humanity, underscoring that true strength resides not merely in outward protection, but in the courage to face one's fears and imperfections. The film's exploration of power is multifaceted, examining not only physical might, but the influence wielded through technology, knowledge, and legacy. The arc reactor embedded within the hero is a potent symbol, its glowing core representing the fusion of human ingenuity and the burden such power entails. The reactor sustains life but simultaneously threatens it, a metaphor for the double-edged nature of innovation. This symbolism extends to the antagonist's technological creations, which, while impressive, lack the protagonist's moral grounding, illustrating how power divorced from ethics becomes destructive. The interplay between these forces raises profound questions about responsibility and the potential consequences of unchecked ambition. Legacy is another powerful theme, woven through the narrative and character arcs with subtlety and weight. The protagonist's journey is shadowed by the influence of his father's work and ideals, which serve as both inspiration and source of inner conflict. This generational tension reflects broader human concerns about inheritance, what we receive, what we create, and what we leave behind. The film uses visual cues, such as blueprints, photographs, and echoes of past conversations, to evoke this theme, reminding us that the past is never truly past, but a living presence shaping choices and identity. The motif of surveillance and public scrutiny runs throughout the story, reflecting contemporary anxieties about privacy and the cost of visibility. Our hero's decision to reveal his identity subjects him to relentless observation and judgment, stripping away the protective anonymity that once allowed freedom. This theme is symbolized through recurring imagery of cameras, screens, and public arenas, creating a sense of pervasive exposure that challenges the notion of self-determination. The film interrogates how media and society construct heroes, often conflating image with essence, and explores the tension between public expectation and personal truth. Friendship and trust emerge as vital counterpoints to themes of isolation and suspicion. The evolving relationship between the protagonist and his allies highlights the complexities of human connection amid chaos. Moments of camaraderie and conflict reveal that trust is fragile and hard-won, yet essential for growth and survival. Symbolically, these relationships are often framed through shared spaces, workshops, vehicles, and intimate conversations, suggesting that community is forged through both action and vulnerability. The film's visual language enriches these themes with potent symbolism. Lighting contrasts harsh fluorescence in corporate and governmental settings versus warm, intimate glows in personal spaces, mirror the emotional states of characters and the tensions between public facade and private reality. Color palettes shift to underscore mood and theme. Metallic blues and silvers evoke technology and cold efficiency, while reds and golds symbolize passion, danger, and humanity's spark. These choices create a dynamic interplay that deepens narrative impact. Sound and music complement visual symbolism, weaving emotional texture into the story's fabric. The mechanical hum of the armor and the rhythmic pulse of the arc reactor underscore the fusion of man and machine, while thematic musical motifs shift to reflect internal conflict, triumph, or despair. These auditory elements invite viewers into the characters' inner worlds, enhancing empathy and engagement. Symbolism extends into narrative structure, with recurring motifs such as the clock and mirror reinforcing themes of time, reflection, and self-examination. The clock's ticking serves as a reminder of mortality and urgency, while mirrors prompt characters and viewers to confront identity and truth. These symbols recur in key scenes, enriching the story's cyclical nature and deepening thematic resonance. The film also engages with mythic and archetypal imagery, positioning the protagonist within a lineage of heroes who grapple with power and destiny. His journey echoes the classic hero's quest, marked by trials, allies, enemies, and transformation. Yet, the film subverts traditional tropes by emphasizing imperfection and vulnerability, inviting a more nuanced understanding of heroism that values resilience and humanity over invincibility. In sum, the film's themes and symbolism intertwine to create a rich, immersive experience that transcends genre conventions. It challenges viewers to consider the costs and consequences of power, the complexities of identity, and the enduring influence of legacy. Through its layered visual and auditory language, compelling characters, and thoughtful narrative, the film offers a meditation on what it means to be human in an age defined by technology and spectacle. Engaging with these depths reveals the film as not just entertainment, but a work of art that invites reflection and conversation. It stands as a vibrant testament to cinema's power to explore profound questions through story, symbol, and performance, inviting each of us to find our own meaning beneath the armor's gleam. The making of this film was a marvel of modern filmmaking, a dazzling confluence of technology, artistry, and storytelling craft that transformed pages into a vibrant, kinetic world on screen. Every frame, every sound, and every cut was the result of a meticulous and often daring process, where the mastery of technique served not only to entertain, but to immerse the viewer deeply within the narrative's emotional and thematic currents. Exploring these filmmaking techniques offers a window into how the film's atmosphere was sculpted and how its sensory elements were orchestrated to create an unforgettable experience. At the heart of the film's visual impact lies the cinematography, a delicate dance between grandeur and intimacy. The cinematographer embraced a dynamic style that combined sweeping wide shots with tight close-ups, capturing both the epic scale of technological battles and the subtle emotional nuances of character moments. The use of Steadicam and tracking shots allowed the camera to move fluidly through complex action sequences, creating a sense of immediacy and engagement. One particularly memorable sequence, an intense aerial chase, was filmed using a combination of practical rigs and drone cameras, resulting in breathtaking perspectives that thrust the audience into the heart of the action. Lighting design played a pivotal role in shaping the film's mood and tone. The interplay of light and shadow was carefully crafted to reflect thematic contrasts. The cold, clinical glow of laboratories and government offices contrasted with the warm, fluctuating hues of personal spaces. This chiaroscuro technique emphasized the duality within characters and settings, casting literal and figurative shadows that enriched the narrative texture. Color grading and post-production further enhanced these contrasts, with a palette that shifted between metallic blues, fiery reds, and muted grays to symbolize technology, passion, and isolation respectively. The film's production design deserves special mention for its layered realism, blended with stylized fantasy. Sets ranged from high-tech workshops brimming with intricate machinery to sprawling urban landscapes meticulously constructed on sound stages and real locations. The design team's attention to detail was astonishing. Every piece of equipment, every control panel was imbued with a sense of purpose and narrative significance. This immersive environment anchored the fantastical elements in a believable reality, allowing viewers to suspend disbelief and invest emotionally in the story. Visual effects were seamlessly integrated, blurring the lines between practical and digital artistry. The special effects team employed cutting-edge CGI to create the protagonist's armor, making it a character in its own right, responsive, expressive, and visually stunning. Motion capture technology was utilized to capture the actor's physicality within the suit, ensuring that movements felt authentic and emotionally resonant. Explosions, energy blasts, and mechanical transformations were rendered with meticulous attention to physics and texture, contributing to a visceral spectacle that never overwhelmed the story's human core. Sound design was crafted with equal care, layering realistic environmental sounds with heightened auditory effects to enhance immersion. The hum of the arc reactor, the clanking of armor plates, and the sharp crackle of energy weapons were developed through extensive Foley work, capturing both the mechanical and organic qualities of the film's world. The sound team employed spatial audio techniques to create a three-dimensional soundscape, enveloping viewers in the sonic environment and heightening tension and excitement during action scenes. Editing shaped the film's rhythm and narrative flow, balancing rapid-fire sequences with quieter, reflective moments. The editors worked closely with the director to ensure that pacing supported both comedic timing and dramatic tension. Jump cuts cross-cutting between parallel storylines and the strategic use of slow motion were employed to emphasize emotional beats and enhance visual spectacle. For instance, a pivotal fight sequence was intercut with flashbacks and reaction shots, deepening its impact and clarifying character motivations amid chaos. Music composition further enriched the film's atmosphere, blending orchestral themes with electronic elements to reflect the fusion of humanity and technology central to the story. The score's motifs were carefully woven throughout, signaling shifts in mood and underscoring key narrative moments. Recording sessions featured both traditional ensembles and experimental instruments, producing a layered soundscape that moved fluidly between grandeur and intimacy. Box office production was a feat of strategic planning and market insight. The film's release was timed to capitalize on peak viewing seasons and coordinated with an extensive marketing campaign that included trailers emphasizing both action and character, social media engagement, and partnerships with technology brands. The global distribution strategy targeted diverse markets, tailoring promotional materials to cultural contexts while maintaining a cohesive brand identity. Opening weekend exceeded expectations, driven by a blend of franchise loyalty, critical buzz, and word-of-mouth enthusiasm. The film's box office trajectory demonstrated strong staying power, supported by repeat viewings and expanding audience demographics. International markets, particularly in Asia and Europe, contributed significantly to overall revenue, reflecting the film's universal themes and visual appeal. Merchandising and ancillary revenues also played a crucial role. Licensed products, from action figures to apparel and video games, extended the film's reach beyond theaters, cultivating a dedicated fanbase and sustaining cultural relevance. Special edition releases, featuring behind-the-scenes content and director's commentary, engaged enthusiasts and scholars alike, deepening appreciation for the film's artistry. In sum, the filmmaking techniques and box office strategy combined to create a cinematic event that was both a technical triumph and a cultural phenomenon. The careful orchestration of visual storytelling, soundscapes, editing rhythms, and strategic market positioning allowed the film to resonate widely, offering audiences an experience that was thrilling, emotionally rich, and intellectually stimulating. Through this blend of artistry and savvy, the film secured its place as a landmark in modern cinema, one where technology and humanity coalesce in a dazzling display of narrative power and creative vision. As we draw this exploration to a close, it's worth stepping back to appreciate the full tapestry we've woven together, a journey that took us far beyond the dazzling spectacle of armored suits and explosive battles into the very heart of what this film offers to those willing to look beneath the surface. From the very first frame, we saw a story not just of a hero in metal, but of a deeply human struggle, a tension between power and vulnerability, between public persona and private pain, between legacy and self-discovery. This film, often celebrated for its action and effects, also invites us into a rich dialogue about identity, responsibility, and the cost of heroism. We began by immersing ourselves in the world the filmmakers created, a world alive with visual contrasts, where the cold gleam of technology meets the warmth of human emotion. Cinematography, lighting, and production design worked in concert to craft settings that were more than just backdrops. They became characters themselves, echoing the film's themes of control, chaos, and transformation. The way the city's labyrinthine spaces and gleaming labs framed the protagonist's journey mirrored his internal conflicts and the broader societal tensions at play. Our deep dive into the plot revealed a narrative layered with complexity. The story masterfully balances high-octane action with quieter moments of introspection, allowing us to witness a hero who is as flawed and vulnerable as he is brilliant and brave. The antagonist's presence challenged not only the hero's physical strength, but also his values and vision for the future, pushing the narrative beyond a simple good versus evil dichotomy into a nuanced exploration of ambition and consequence. Twists and turns kept us engaged, reminding us that trust is fragile, alliances are tentative, and identity is never static. Characters emerged as richly drawn figures, far more than their archetypal roots might suggest. The protagonists grappling with mortality and legacy humanized the superhero myth, while the femme fatale and supporting cast added depth and tension, each embodying themes of agency, loyalty, and redemption. Their relationships, fraught with conflict and connection, underscored the film's core message, that heroism is as much about human connection as it is about power or spectacle. Behind the scenes, the film's creation was a testament to collaboration and innovation. Stories of improvisation, technical challenges, and creative problem-solving revealed a production marked by dedication and joyful inventiveness. The interplay between practical effects and cutting-edge CGI, the meticulous sound design, and the dynamic editing rhythm all contributed to a cinematic experience that is both immersive and emotionally resonant. These insights remind us that the magic of film is crafted not just by visionaries, but by communities of artists working in harmony. Thematically, the film's resonance lies in its exploration of identity's dualities and the ambivalences of power. Symbolism, the glowing arc reactor, the armor as both shield and prison, the persistent motif of surveillance, enriches the narrative, inviting viewers to reflect on what it means to be human in an age defined by technology and spectacle. The film's engagement with legacy, vulnerability, and moral complexity elevates it from blockbuster entertainment to a cultural text ripe for deep analysis. Box office success and audience reception affirmed the film's broad appeal and enduring impact. From thrilling action to thoughtful character work, it captivated diverse audiences worldwide, sparking conversations that extended beyond theaters into scholarly discussions and fan communities. The strategic marketing and ancillary content amplified its cultural footprint, demonstrating how a film can become a living dialogue between creators and viewers. As we close this chapter of exploration, I invite you to carry forward this spirit of curiosity and critical engagement. Cinema is not merely a mirror reflecting society's surface, but a prism refracting its complexities, and works like this remind us of the rich possibilities that arise when storytelling embraces both spectacle and soul. If this journey has sparked your imagination or deepened your appreciation for film as art and discourse, please like this video and subscribe to Frame Shift. Together, we'll continue venturing into the intricate worlds that cinema offers, uncovering stories, themes, and meanings that challenge, inspire, and delight. Thank you for sharing this time and space, for engaging with the layers beneath the armor's shine. Until our next adventure, keep your mind open, your eyes sharp, and your heart ready to embrace the stories that shape our understanding of ourselves and the world around us. The world of this film is crafted with a vibrant, pulsating energy, a carefully constructed landscape, where the modernity of sleek technology and the grit of human struggle coexist in a dynamic tension. The settings themselves become characters, shaping and reflecting the narrative's emotional and thematic currents. From the gleaming, high-tech interiors of Stark Industries to the sprawling urban sprawl of New York City, each location immerses the viewer in a reality that is at once futuristic and palpably grounded. At the heart of the film lies Stark's personal domain, the expansive, state-of-the-art workshop and living quarters that serve as both sanctuary and laboratory. This space is a visual symphony of innovation, filled with gleaming metal, glowing arc reactors, and an array of intricate machinery in various stages of assembly. The design of this setting encapsulates the protagonist's genius and his isolation, the sterile precision of the technology contrasting with the human vulnerability evident in scattered personal items and moments of quiet reflection. Meticulous attention to detail in these interiors, every tool, blueprint, and holographic interface anchors the film's science fiction elements in believable reality. Beyond Stark's private world, the film opens up into the bustling metropolis, where towering skyscrapers and neon-lit streets create a backdrop of relentless pace and complexity. The city is alive, a character in its own right, embodying the chaos and potential of modern life. Cinematic framing often positions the protagonist against this urban expanse, emphasizing the scale of his challenges and the societal pressures that shape his journey. Nighttime sequences utilize chiaroscuro lighting to dramatize the contrast between public spectacle and private turmoil, with rain-slicked streets reflecting neon glows and casting long shadows that echo the film's themes of duality and hidden truths. Key action set pieces take place in environments that blend realism with stylized design, government facilities, industrial complexes, and the Stark Expo itself. These settings are crafted to amplify tension and thematic resonance. The government hearings, for example, are staged within imposing, austere chambers that symbolize institutional authority and scrutiny, their cold surfaces and rigid lines reinforcing the protagonist's struggle against external control. In contrast, the Expo is a dazzling display of innovation and spectacle, its vibrant colors and kinetic energy highlighting the film's celebration of human ingenuity and ambition. Cinematography is a masterful tool in shaping the film's mood and tone. The director of photography employs a dynamic range of techniques to convey the narrative's emotional layers. Wide-angle shots establish the grandeur and scope of technological marvels, while intimate close-ups capture the nuanced performances that reveal characters' inner conflicts. The camera's movement is fluid and responsive, tracking through frantic action sequences with thrilling immediacy, then slowing to linger on moments of introspection and vulnerability. This interplay creates a rhythm that mirrors the protagonist's oscillation between external battles and internal struggles. Lighting design plays a pivotal role in evoking atmosphere. The film makes extensive use of practical and motivated lighting to underscore themes and emotional beats. The cool, clinical light of laboratories contrasts sharply with the warm, softer tones of personal spaces, visually delineating spheres of public duty and private humanity. In moments of crisis or revelation, lighting shifts dramatically. Stark highlights and deep shadows carve faces and spaces, evoking tension and ambiguity. This chiaroscuro not only enhances visual interest, but also reinforces the film's exploration of identity and morality. Visual effects are seamlessly integrated into the film's aesthetic, enhancing without overwhelming. The glowing arc reactor at the protagonist's chest is a signature element, rendered with a luminous quality that symbolizes both power and fragility. Armor transformations and weapon activations are choreographed with meticulous attention to detail, combining CGI and practical effects to achieve a tactile realism. These effects serve narrative function as well, reflecting the protagonist's evolving relationship with his technology and his own sense of self. Color grading in post-production further refines the film's visual language. The palette of metallic blues, fiery reds, and muted grays dominates, each color carefully selected to evoke thematic significance. Blue hues often accompany scenes of technological innovation and control, while reds signal danger, passion, or emotional intensity. Grayscale tones underscore moments of ambiguity and conflict, weaving a chromatic tapestry that guides the viewer's emotional journey. Sound design complements the visual world with a rich auditory landscape. The mechanical hum of the armor, the crisp clicks of technological interfaces, and the explosive roars of battle sequences create an immersive sonic environment. Sound editing emphasizes spatial dynamics, allowing the audience to experience the immediacy of action and the intimacy of quieter moments. The strategic use of silence punctuates tension, offering breathing space amidst the film's relentless pace. The musical score acts as an emotional undercurrent, weaving motifs that echo the protagonist's journey. Orchestral swells heighten moments of triumph and peril, while electronic textures underscore the film's fusion of humanity and technology. The composer's interplay of thematic material enhances narrative cohesion, inviting viewers to engage emotionally with the unfolding drama. Together, these cinematic elements, setting, lighting, cinematography, visual effects, sound, and music, create a cohesive and compelling atmosphere. They immerse the viewer in a world where the marvels of technology coexist with the complexities of human emotion, where spectacle serves story, and where every visual and auditory choice enriches the film's exploration of identity, power, and legacy. Ultimately, the film's settings and cinematic craft are not merely backdrops or technical achievements, but integral components of its storytelling artistry. They shape our experience, deepen our understanding, and invite us to reflect on the themes that resonate long after the final frame fades. Through this intricate interplay of design and direction, the film transcends its genre to become a vivid meditation on what it means to be a hero in an age of both wonder and uncertainty. The creation of this film was nothing short of an odyssey, a sprawling journey that spanned years, involved countless collaborators, and combined cutting-edge technology with timeless storytelling craft. From the initial spark of conception to the final frame projected on screens worldwide, the production process unfolded as a complex dance, at once meticulously planned and delightfully unpredictable. Immersing ourselves in these production insights reveals the passion, challenges, and surprises that shape the film, painting a vivid portrait of cinema as both art and collaborative endeavor. The genesis of the project began with a desire to build upon the success of the original story, not simply to replicate, but to deepen the narrative and expand the universe. Early discussions among producers, writers, and the director emphasized the need to balance high-stakes action with character development, ensuring that the film would resonate emotionally as well as visually. This guiding principle influenced every stage of production, setting the tone for a process that valued both spectacle and substance. Casting was a critical early step, and the chemistry among the lead actors became a foundation upon which much of the film's energy rested. The lead actor, reprising his role with a fresh perspective, immersed himself fully, collaborating closely with the director and writers to explore new dimensions of his character. Anecdotes from rehearsals reveal a spirit of experimentation, improvisations that made it into the final cut, and spontaneous moments that enhanced authenticity. Supporting actors brought their own creative energies, enriching the ensemble dynamic with diverse approaches to their roles. One fascinating behind-the-scenes story involves the training regimen undertaken by the cast. The physical demands of portraying characters enmeshed in high-octane action required extensive preparation. Fight choreography sessions stretched for weeks, blending martial arts with stunt coordination to craft believable yet visually stunning combat. The actors shared tales of grueling workouts, bruises earned in pursuit of realism, and the camaraderie that grew from shared physical challenges. This commitment paid off in performances that felt visceral and grounded, elevating action sequences beyond mere spectacle. The production design team embarked on an ambitious task of creating environments that balanced futuristic innovation with tangible realism. Concept artists and model makers worked hand in hand to envision the protagonist's iconic armor and workshop, meticulously crafting details that would translate seamlessly onto screen. Interesting anecdotes emerge about prototype suits, some weighing dozens of pounds, tested extensively for mobility and comfort. Actors often faced long hours confined within these suits, contending with heat, weight, and limited visibility. Makeup and costume departments innovated to preserve facial expressiveness, employing lightweight materials and subtle prosthetics. Filming presented a series of logistical challenges that required ingenuity and adaptability. Many sequences demanded intricate coordination between practical effects, stunt teams, and visual effects units. One notable example is a large-scale action scene involving multiple moving vehicles and pyrotechnics. Weather conditions, unpredictable rain and wind, threatened to derail the schedule, but the crew adapted swiftly, reconfiguring shot lists and employing innovative lighting solutions to maintain continuity. Stories from the set speak of late nights, intense focus, and moments of levity that kept morale high. The director's collaborative style was a hallmark of the production. Known for fostering open communication, he encouraged input from all departments, valuing the fresh perspectives of younger crew members alongside seasoned veterans. This approach led to creative problem-solving and moments of serendipity, such as an unplanned camera angle capturing a spontaneous actor gesture that enriched a pivotal scene. The production environment became a crucible of creativity, where hierarchy gave way to shared purpose. Visual effects, a cornerstone of the film's spectacle, involved a global network of artists working across studios to deliver seamless integration of CGI and live action. The process began months before principal photography, with pre-visualization sequences that mapped out complex action beats and camera movements. The visual effects supervisor recounts the challenge of balancing technical precision with artistic flair, ensuring that digital elements enhanced rather than overshadowed performances. Breakthroughs in motion capture technology allowed for more nuanced expressions within the armor, lending personality and emotional depth to otherwise mechanical scenes. Sound design was equally intricate. The creation of the armor's distinctive hum and the various weapon effects involved layering recordings of unusual sources, metal scraping, engine noises, electronic pulses, blended to create a unique sonic signature. Foley artists replicated footsteps and armor clinks in specialized studios, crafting sounds that were both realistic and heightened for dramatic effect. Anecdotes include recording sessions where musicians played unconventional instruments to evoke futuristic textures, adding an organic layer to the electronic score. Editing was a marathon of precision and creativity. The editorial team worked closely with the director through numerous cuts, experimenting with pacing to strike the perfect balance between narrative clarity and thrilling momentum. Early assemblies revealed challenges in sequencing overlapping action scenes without losing emotional connection, leading to inventive solutions such as intercutting character reactions and using sound bridges to maintain flow. The editors also played a key role in comedic timing, ensuring that moments of levity landed effectively amid intense drama. The musical score was composed with an ear for blending orchestral grandeur and modern electronic motifs, reflecting the film's thematic fusion of humanity and technology. Recording sessions involved live orchestras and synthesizers, with the composer iterating closely with the director to align music with narrative beats. One memorable moment occurred when an unexpected spontaneous improvisation by a soloist inspired a thematic shift in a key cue, demonstrating the organic nature of the creative process. Marketing efforts extended beyond traditional trailers and posters, embracing interactive digital campaigns and partnerships with tech brands that echoed the film's fusion of innovation and culture. Cast and crew participated in extensive promotional tour, sharing insights and engaging with fans through conventions, social media, and behind-the-scenes featurettes. These initiatives not only built anticipation, but fostered a sense of community among viewers eager to explore the film's deeper layers. Despite its many triumphs, the production was not without obstacles. Budget constraints necessitated creative reallocations of resources, and scheduling conflicts with key actors required flexible planning. On-set injuries, though fortunately minor, underscored the physical demands of action filmmaking. Yet these challenges were met with resilience and teamwork, with stories of crew members stepping beyond their usual roles to support one another, reflecting a collective dedication to realizing a shared vision. In reflecting on these production insights and fun facts, we gain a richer appreciation for the film's artistry and the human endeavor behind its creation. The seamless blend of cutting-edge technology, detailed craftsmanship, and heartfelt performances is the product of countless hours, passionate collaboration, and an enduring belief in the power of storytelling. Ultimately, the making of this film is a story in itself, a testament to creativity, perseverance, and the magic that arises when talented individuals unite around a singular artistic purpose. These behind-the-scenes moments invite us to look beyond the screen and honor the vibrant community whose collective spirit brings cinematic dreams to life. The film unfolds across a landscape, carefully crafted to mirror the inner turbulence and outward spectacle that define its narrative, a world where setting and cinematic elements interlace to create an immersive experience that goes beyond mere backdrop. From the glittering heights of urban skylines to the intimate confines of cutting-edge laboratories, each location breathes life into the story, shaping the emotional texture and amplifying the themes of identity, power, and transformation. At the center of this world lies the protagonist's personal domain, a sprawling high-tech workshop that is both sanctuary and stage. This space is a study in contrasts. Sleek, polished surfaces juxtaposed with the scattered debris of invention and experimentation. The design reflects the duality of its occupant, brilliant and restless, yet burdened and isolated. Lighting here is a key storytelling tool, shifting from the harsh glare of fluorescent overheads during moments of creation and crisis to the softer, warmer glows that illuminate solitary reflections. These transitions in lighting not only delineate time and mood, but also visually echo the character's oscillation between control and vulnerability. Beyond the workshop, the film ventures into the metropolis, a living organism pulsing with energy and contradiction. Towering skyscrapers glint in sunlight, casting long shadows that stretch like fingers into the city's labyrinthine streets. Night sequences transform this urban landscape into a playground of neon lights and reflective surfaces, where rain-soaked pavements mirror the chaos and clarity of the unfolding drama. Cinematic framing often positions the hero against this sprawling backdrop, emphasizing the enormity of his challenges and the impersonal forces at play. The cityscape becomes a metaphor for both possibility and entrapment, embodying the film's tension between freedom and control. Government buildings and industrial sites punctuate the narrative, their architecture austere and imposing. The sterile, angular lines of these locations contrast sharply with the organic forms of the protagonist's workshop, visually reinforcing the ideological clash between individual innovation and institutional authority. The film uses these settings to heighten tension and underscore themes of surveillance and power. Scenes set within these walls often employ cold color palettes and rigid compositions, evoking feelings of constraint and scrutiny. The Stark Expo, a pivotal setting, bursts with vibrant color and kinetic energy, embodying the film's celebration of human ingenuity and ambition. The Expo's design merges futuristic aesthetics with a carnival-like atmosphere, where technology dazzles and dazzles. Cinematography here is playful and dynamic, with wide shots capturing the scale and spectacle, while close-ups focus on character reactions, grounding the scene in personal stakes amid public grandeur. The Expo serves as a narrative crossroads, a place of revelation, confrontation, and transformation. Cinematographically, the film is a masterclass in visual storytelling. The director of photography employs a fluid style that adapts seamlessly to the story's shifting tones. Action sequences are shot with kinetic energy, using handheld cameras and rapid tracking shots to immerse viewers in the chaos and urgency. Conversely, moments of introspection and dialogue benefit from steady, measured compositions that allow performances to breathe and emotional subtleties to emerge. This deliberate pacing and framing create a rhythm that mirrors the protagonist's journey between external conflict and internal struggle. Lighting design further enhances mood and theme. The film makes evocative use of chiaroscuro, casting faces and spaces into stark relief, blurring boundaries between light and shadow. This technique visually represents the dualities central to the story: power and fragility, truth and deception, public image and private self. Color temperature shifts serve as emotional signposts. Cooler hues dominate scenes of tension and uncertainty, while warmer tones mark moments of connection and hope. Visual effects are intricately woven into the film's aesthetic, supporting narrative without overwhelming it. The iconic glow of the arc reactor is rendered with a luminous quality that symbolizes life and energy, its pulsing light a constant visual motif. Armor transformations and combat sequences blend practical effects with CGI to create a tangible sense of weight and movement. These effects are choreographed to align with character emotion, making technology an extension of the protagonist's identity rather than a mere spectacle. Sound design plays an equally vital role in shaping atmosphere. The hum of machinery, the crisp mechanical clicks of armor assembly, and the explosive cacophony of battle sequences envelop the viewer in a rich sonic landscape. The film employs spatial audio techniques to heighten immersion, allowing sounds to shift and evolve with camera movement and scene dynamics. Strategic silences punctuate key moments, amplifying tension and focusing attention on character. The musical score underpins the film's emotional arc, blending sweeping orchestral themes with electronic textures that reflect its fusion of humanity and technology. Leitmotifs recur throughout, linking visual and narrative elements and guiding the viewer's emotional response. The score swells in moments of triumph and retreats into subtle underscoring during introspection, crafting a sonic journey that complements the visual storytelling. Editing contributes to the film's narrative clarity and emotional pacing. The editors balance rapid cuts in action scenes with longer takes in character-driven moments, ensuring that excitement does not come at the expense of depth. Techniques such as cross-cutting and montage are used to build suspense and parallel storylines, weaving together multiple threads into a cohesive whole. The film's rhythm, accelerating and decelerating in harmony with plot developments, engages viewers intellectually and viscerally. In all, the film's settings and cinematic elements coalesce into an evocative and immersive experience. They do more than support the story, they amplify its emotional resonance and thematic richness. Through careful design, lighting, camera work, sound, and editing, the film invites viewers into a world where every visual and auditory detail contributes to a deeper understanding of character and narrative. This layered approach elevates the film beyond conventional genre fare, offering a sensory and intellectual feast that lingers long after the final scene. It reminds us that cinema's power lies not just in what is told, but in how it is shown, how light falls, how the camera moves, how sound envelops, and how editing weaves disparate moments into a living, breathing story. The making of this film was itself a rich, unfolding story, a saga of creativity, camaraderie, and occasional chaos behind the polished spectacle seen on screen. Every frame carries the invisible fingerprints of countless hands. Every dramatic moment is born of meticulous planning, entwined with bursts of spontaneous ingenuity. To truly appreciate the film's depth, it helps to step off the viewing platform and into the bustling, sometimes unpredictable world behind the scenes, where human stories unfold alongside cinematic magic. From the earliest days of production, the atmosphere on set was charged with a mix of excitement and pressure. The film's ambitious scope demanded a delicate balance, crafting jaw-dropping action sequences while preserving the emotional authenticity that grounds the characters. The director fostered a collaborative environment, encouraging input from all departments and embracing improvisation when it enriched the narrative. Actors recount moments when spontaneous changes, an offhand line or a shift in blocking, sparked new directions that found their way into the final cut, illustrating the fluidity of filmmaking as a living art. One of the standout anecdotes involves the lead actor's dedication to inhabiting his role physically and emotionally. Known for his meticulous preparation, he underwent an intense regimen of stunt training, weapons handling, and suit maneuvering. On set, he insisted on performing many of his own stunts, pushing safety teams and coordinators to innovate ways to protect him without sacrificing realism. A particularly memorable sequence, an intricate fight atop a moving vehicle, required extensive rehearsals, specialized rigs, and an atmosphere of trust between actor, stunt team, and crew. The result was a breathtaking scene that radiates palpable energy and authenticity. The bond among the cast members was a foundational pillar for the production. Long hours of shooting, intense scenes, and shared challenges fostered a sense of family, a dynamic that enriched performances and eased the rigors of production. The chemistry between the protagonist and his government liaison, for example, blossomed not only through scripted dialogue, but through genuine off-camera friendship and playful rivalry. These interactions, captured in candid behind-the-scenes footage, reveal moments of laughter, support, and mutual respect that translated into on-screen depth. Supporting actors contributed their own memorable moments. The actor portraying the antagonist described a collaborative process with the director that delved deeply into character motivation, humanizing a role that might otherwise risk one-dimensional villainy. This collaboration extended to costume fittings and stunt rehearsals, where the actor experimented with movements and gestures that added nuance and menace. Such dedication underscored the film's commitment to layered storytelling, even within a blockbuster framework. The production design team faced the formidable task of realizing the protagonist's iconic armor and technological world. Stories abound of iterative design processes, where multiple prototypes were created, tested, and refined. Early suit versions proved heavy and restrictive, prompting innovations in materials and engineering. Actors endured long hours in these suits, contending with heat and limited mobility, but embraced the challenge as part of the immersive storytelling. The makeup and costume departments developed clever solutions to preserve facial expressiveness, ensuring emotional subtlety despite the physical constraints. Filming itself presented a host of logistical puzzles. Coordinating large-scale action sequences required precise timing, extensive choreography, and seamless communication among stunt teams, camera operators, and effects crews. Unexpected weather shifts, especially during outdoor shoots, demanded rapid adjustments, sometimes leading to creative improvisations that enhanced rather than hindered scenes. One such incident involved sudden rain altering lighting and sound conditions, prompting the crew to reimagine a sequence in ways that added atmospheric tension. The director's approach to leadership emphasized openness and adaptability. Known for encouraging collaborative problem-solving, he invited ideas from junior crew members and fostered an environment where creativity could flourish despite the constraints of budget and schedule. This ethos led to surprising breakthroughs, an inventive camera rig inspired by a crew member's suggestion, or a last-minute script tweak that deepened a character moment. These instances highlight the collective nature of filmmaking, where every contribution matters. Visual effects, a cornerstone of the film's impact, were achieved through a global network of studios working in concert. Early pre-visualization sequences allowed the team to map out complex scenes, coordinating actors' movements with digital elements. The visual effects supervisor shares stories of late-night rendering sessions and collaborative problem-solving to balance technical demands with artistic vision. The use of motion capture technology for the armor's movement was groundbreaking, capturing subtle physical cues that imbued the suit with character. Sound design was another realm of innovation. Foley artists crafted unique auditory textures by blending real-world sounds, metal scraping, engine whirs, electronic pulses, to produce the film's signature sonic landscape. The sound team used immersive spatial techniques, creating a three-dimensional auditory experience that enveloped viewers and heightened emotional engagement. Recording sessions sometimes featured unexpected sources, like household objects manipulated to generate futuristic effects, reflecting a spirit of experimentation. Editing was a meticulous process involving multiple cuts and refinements. The editors worked closely with the director to balance pacing, maintaining the narrative's urgency without sacrificing character development. Early test screenings informed adjustments, leading to reordering scenes, trimming sequences, and enhancing transitions. The editors also played a key role in comedic timing, ensuring that humor landed effectively amid tension. The musical score, blending orchestral grandeur with electronic elements, was composed in close dialogue with the director and editors. Recording sessions were lively, with musicians experimenting to capture the film's unique tone. The composer recounts moments when spontaneous improvisations shifted a cue's direction, illustrating the organic interplay between music and narrative. Marketing and promotional efforts extended the production's collaborative spirit. Cast and crew participated enthusiastically in fan events, social media campaigns, and interviews, sharing insights and fostering a sense of community. Behind-the-scenes featurettes and documentaries revealed the human side of the production, building anticipation and deepening audience engagement. Despite its many successes, the production faced challenges. Tight schedules, budget constraints, and the physical demands on cast and crew tested endurance and resolve. Injuries, though minor, underscored the risks inherent in action filmmaking. Yet these obstacles galvanized the team, inspiring innovative solutions and reinforcing a shared commitment to the film's vision. In sum, the behind-the-scenes story of this film is one of passion, creativity, and resilience. It reveals filmmaking as a collective art form, a mosaic of talents and perspectives woven together through collaboration, problem-solving, and joy. These insights invite us to appreciate not only the cinematic spectacle, but the vibrant human endeavor that makes such stories possible. Through dedication and imagination, the cast and crew transformed vision into reality, crafting a film that continues to captivate and inspire audiences worldwide.